understanding your worth, and being confident in knowing who you are. But the first person who has to realize that there's a greater you on the inside of you is you. In life, we all go through stages of the good, the bad, and the ugly, which leads us to our purpose and promise. UTCM is a platform where you get to share your story and your truth of unmasking moments that allows you to embrace all stages in your life. UTCM looks forward to many people being able to unmask, uncover, and unveil themselves on the podcast. Thank you for watching and joining us.
Hey, we here and we live.
Hey,
How are you? I'm so excited to have you. We had a couple of hiccups, right?
Yes.
But we here.
We here.
We here. We made it. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud that you have decided to really take this. Yes, I know you was going back and forth with it for some time, but we are here and I appreciate you. Oh my goodness. Hey everybody. Welcome to UTCM season 6 episode 4. We have, and it's crazy, right? So I didn't know B for, oh my goodness. How long now?
It has to be like 18, 19 years at this point.
Yes, I was getting ready to say that because I had Zaire. So, and Zaire is going to be 19. So,
yeah, so I knew you before you had him.
Yeah.
So for a while before you had him, yes.
Yes. So, wow. And we are still connected and linked together.
Yes.
Just nothing but amazing. I love it, love it, love it. I just thank you again for your yes and your commitment to your healing journey, to your unmasking journey. It just also just brings me joy to know that, again, continuing to know that I'm not alone, right, in this, right? And we all we go through to bring others through, right? As long as we're willing to go through.
Yes.
Right. So, before lately I've been doing like just to kind of like get the jitters out and breathe a little bit, right? Because people don't understand this is not easy. This is not an easy feat, right? To sit in front of a camera and speak about yourself.
Right.
Right. And sometimes, hearing yourself speak the hard stuff, right, that we go through. So I want to kind of like just, do a little icebreaker. Right. Okay. So the icebreaker is going to be this or that, right? The unmasking edition. So, coffee or tea?
Tea.
Early bird or night owl?
Let me see. I'm not an early bird. We're going to pick night owl. I'm not an early bird at all. Anybody that knows me know I'm not an early bird. Nope.
That's me. I'm up. You get my Wellness Wednesday. 4:30, 5:30. All right. Texting or calling?
Texting.
Netflix and chill or outside vibes?
Outside vibe.
Heels or sneakers?
Both.
Can't choose one.
They're both.
I guess it depends on what's going on, what you're doing.
It depends what's going on.
Exactly right. Because there's some things that it just requires
right. It requires it. So I won't fight it if I got to put the heels on.
Exactly. All right. Loud music or quiet peace?
I want to say both, right? Because it depends on what my mood is. Right. If I'm like in a very good mood, I'm upbeat, I'm blasting it. But if I'm like down, I will lower it a little bit, and then I would get to like my safe space and just be in my moment and be in my feelings. Like, so it would just have to be, I can't be like blasting it if I'm like in my feelings. Like, yeah. So it depends on the mood.
That's fair. All right. R&B or gospel?
Gospel.
Sometimes, I like to go. So lately it's crazy, right? Lately, like songs that are R&B songs that I'm listening to, I'm like, wait a minute. She can't, like, for an example, Mary J. Blige, Everything. Mm-hmm. There's no way in the world that she is talking about the love of her life She has to be talking about God in that song, Mary J.
Right,
Blige.
right.
You got to go back and listen to it.
So I think I heard it the other day, and I was trying to figure out what she was. Was it a gospel song or an R&B song? So there are some R&B songs that I have heard, and I'm like, this is a word. Like this is
Come on,
flip it any type of way.
for
But
real.
I do like R&B music. I will not say that I won't listen to it. I love R&B music because there's some songs that will take you to a space.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I love about gospel music is no matter how I'm feeling, there's a song for it.
Yeah, that's good.
No matter how I'm feeling, there's a song for it, and I can connect it to the creator. So that's why I said, like, it's a foundation in that one. So like, it's even when you connect to R&B songs, the gospel song is more emotional. Like you get into it, like you start praising, you happy, you're crying, you sad, you're crying. Like, and gospel music would just take you to that special place, no matter how you're feeling. So that's why I say I pick that, because sometimes I like to like try to bottle my feelings in.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll play a gospel songs, and I was like, oh, I had to get this out. And I'll start praising and worshiping and crying and ugly crying in the car by myself. So I'm like, gospel music is my jam.
Yeah, I'm telling. Yeah, so gospel's for me too, right? That's all I listen to. However, I also am a house head too with house music, and I always say, I'm like, whoever created house music, they love the Lord. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Me, I love if it got a beat, I love it.
Let me listen, okay? It's just something about it. Music is just it's very therapeutic. Music is very therapeutic. Okay. Headphones or speakers?
Speakers.
Yeah, I do
gotta
too.
feel the vibrations.
My father always says that. Feel the vibration. Yes, I love that. Yes.
Growing up, I used to get in trouble a lot for blasting the music. Even when I blast the gospel, my dad's like, why? Like, why do you? I was like, I don't know. I need to hear it like high. Like, I got to turn it up. Like, you got to feel the vibration.
Yes. Love it. Okay, that was fun. That was fun. I like that. Okay. All right. Come on, icebreakers. Let's go.
That was a good one.
That was. All right. So now that we done broke the ice, let's dive right on in. So I always ask all my guests this question, right? How did you feel about the questionnaire?
So for me, the questionnaire, like I looked at it, I want to say I looked at it like about like 3 times before I finally completed it. Because it requires you not to just be honest with the person that's asking you the questionnaire, but you got to be honest with yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So like every day, like you think you go through life every single day and you try to tell yourself how things are going. Like you just try to and it's not always true. Right? Like even when somebody says, "Hey, how you doing?" You're like, "I'm good. I'm okay." You could be dying inside. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, so I had to get out of my normal routine.
Yeah.
Because I would say that I'm okay, even though I'm not. Like,
yeah.
Right? You be going through a ball of emotions, but if somebody asks you how you doing, you're really not gonna sit and just like bury your soul out in that moment. So the quickest thing is to say like, I'm okay, and then just move forward and go about your day.
Yeah. It's crazy. So I've been listening to this sermon for the past 2 days by Pastor Keon Henderson. And it's called oh my goodness, what is it? I'm strong, but I'm struggling.
Wow.
Right? And he kind of talks just about, kind of what you just talked about, right? Like when somebody asks you if you're okay, right? Like most of the time, like the default, I'm gonna speak for myself. The default is, oh, I'm good, I'm okay. Right. Not even like, but understanding and knowing like deep down inside that I am really suffering. Right. I am really, really suffering. And he mentioned something about the art of mastering wearing a mask. Right. Like I know how to wear a mask very well. Very well. Like
unless it's someone that knows you though. I can't fool my sisters for nothing. And they can't fool me. Like it's like if you're really like in tune with someone, they can hear it.
Yeah.
Hear it. So like I know like if I call my sisters and they tell me they're good, but I could hear in their voice, I will dig deep and I will not give it up until like they like we're gonna fix this here. Like
Yeah.
so
Well,
unless the person really, really knows you.
yeah, that's true. That is very true. That is very it's like it's almost as if you can, well, for me, I know like sometimes when somebody is off, like just like let's just say um at work, like the space that I've been in now, I've been there a year, and the leader that there's leaders that I support, but there's one particular leader that I support that I know automatically when she walks in, I know that something is wrong. Like no matter how she tries to kind of, play it calm, cool, and collective, like I see that she is like crashing out inwardly.
Right.
For
And
real.
some people don't know, they can give it off just by like how they walk. Like they walk with change, how they hold their head, like just their energy shifted, and they don't even know that they're giving off that different energy until you ask them. Like, and that's happened to me a couple of times where I would see someone, I'm like, "You okay? Like, you're a little off today," and then and just me asking that in that way, the person would like just break down in that moment, like they couldn't even hide it anymore because they're like, you couldn't like, and that's happened to me. There's a couple of people that that I just can't put my mask on for because I was like, I feel bad. Like
Yeah.
certain
Yeah.
people that I just can't do it for, and they'll just I will say that I'm just gonna keep something to myself, and then they would ask me, and it would ask me in a way where I really can't lie, and I'm like, well, this is what it is, and I'll just like lay it all out, and it was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad you let it out, like
Yeah. Because you don't have to, and this is what really, unmasking is really about, right? That's really why I started it, right? To just for people to understand that we really are not alone once we really decide to speak up about it, right? But you also have to feel safe enough, but you also have to be willing enough too, as well, right? To want to unmask, right? So, which is a good segue,
right,
because you had mentioned, right? I had asked you to describe yourself, right? In three and using three words,
right,
right? And really what stuck out to me, one of those words was resilient,
right,
right? And I think I want to actually like really, really kind of like study this because again, right, I've been watching this sermon for 2 days now, like, and I can't move off, I can't move away from it yet because like he's just dropping so many. Pastor Keon Henderson is dropping so many different gems that it's really just shedding some light to how I've been operating.
right,
Right. He had mentioned when I saw that word resilient, it just like really popped out to me. And he had mentioned something in his sermon about fragile. It's called fragile resilience,
right.
right? And I'm just gonna read the definition of what it describes. So
Okay,
it describes, and then we're gonna kind of like just unpack that, right? Because I
okay,
want us to talk about it because I think we both can relate to this like a lot, right?
okay,
So fragile resilience describes a state where an individual or system can withstand stress and recover resilient, but does so well operating at the edge of failure, experiencing high stress, or relying on unsustainable effort. It represents a false front of competency where people appear calm while emotionally, mentally, or physically breaking down.
oof, oof.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta sit back for a second because when I say that's how I've been operating, right? Because I'm always like, like that's always the one word that always comes to me, resilient. Yeah, I'm resilient.
And you
Yeah,
take it as a like a beautiful thing, but when you put it in the definition you put it, it's multiple, it's many levels, it's levels to it, right? So then when you read that, I just hear me all over it, right? And I know it's not just me, right? Sometimes you feel like things that you're going through, you're standing on the island by yourself, but then when you start to talk and speak, you start to realize so many other people is going through what you're going through, and they're just waiting for one voice to speak up and say that. So even what you just read just now, I'm thinking about how many years
Mm.
have I been that type of resilient, right? And I'm just coming to understand that I've been that type of resilient. Like, I always think like I'm stressed all my life. I always say like I don't think about it like, but to be stressed and not know that you're stressed
Mm.
because you're so used to like functioning and moving and going and showing up, being present, right? So when you're doing these things, you're like, this is what I want to do. This is what I can do. You're always present. You're always showing up. You're always there. And you're always the supporter. You're the villager. You're this, you're that. You're always there. But you don't sit back and start to realize that you're doing too much. Like everything that you're doing, what are you giving and putting into yourself in that same moment when you're doing it for everybody else? Right? And
Yeah.
you're thinking like, no matter what I go through, you could be going through the hardest journey. But you're
Mm.
getting up every day and you're showing up, you're doing what you're supposed to do, your smile on your face, and you're dying inside. And to
Mm.
you, it's normal because that's how you've always operated.
Right.
Right? But we're getting older, right? So then our bodies don't wait for us. So then your body starts saying, like, I can't process this stress no more.
Yeah.
So then you start like not being motivated to do certain things, not interested in certain things, not wanting to get out of bed. And you're just saying, like, oh, I just don't like it. Right? But there's a definition for some things, but you don't want to connect yourself to that. Like depression is real.
It is.
Depression is real. And sometimes you may not need a clinical therapist to tell you that. It's because you know it, but you don't want to face it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So then when your body starts to shut down, and then you start hearing sermons like that, and you hear yourself in those sermons, you have to start peeling back layers because you're like, this is me. Do I sit in it? Or do I try to find a way to move forward and change? Because
Mm.
you can't do this forever. You can't.
Wow. I'm sitting here like I'm just I'm in awe of God right now, right? Because I know what your journey, right? That like that hard journey that you talked
Right.
about. And I kind of want you to shed some light on that so people who may be watching or will watch, they can hear right what that hard journey looks like, and your personal unmasking moment, right? And what it took for you to be where you are now, to sit here and talk about, right, shedding that light and peeling back those layers, right? So can you just speak to, and then, I mean, you don't have to give the whole thing, right? But maybe give us a snippet, right, of the hard journey that you have actually gone through and it's continuing to go through even
Right.
right
Right. So when I say hard journey, like every day's hard, of course, but um sometimes I want to say that I could say it that I take life for granted. I wake up, I thank the Lord, I say, Lord, this is the day that you made. I'm thankful for it, right? But there are certain things in life that I have experienced through others and that I've seen people go through certain journeys and I've supported them through their journeys. And not once in my life have I ever thought that I would be in their same space, right?
now.
Didn't even think that their journey could be my journey. And that's life, though. Anybody's journey could be your story in just a blink of an eye. And that's how it happened to me. I've been advocating for individuals all my life. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. If there's a way to advocate for it, I'm going to be there and I'm going to advocate for it. That's how it is, whether it's on the job where you work, speaking up for you and your coworkers, whether it's advocating for individuals with developmental disabilities, children or age, or working with students, working with women, any type of thing, I was advocating. But then I found myself a couple of years starting to advocate for myself after I got into a car accident. And I got into the car accident where someone crashed into me. And when I went to the hospital, I was blown off because they were saying, hey, you're probably hurt from the accident. Nothing's wrong with you. 2 months later, they keep telling me nothing's wrong with me. And I'm telling different doctors, hey, I'm feeling a pain. I'm in a lot of pain. And they kept just blowing me off. So finally, I went to my primary and I said, hey, I feel this. And the primary gave me a diagram like, hey, you got a torn rotator cuff, something simple. So moving from that, I went to pain management and I told them, I said, I need you to sit down and I need you to write down everything that I'm saying to you. So when that doctor 3 months later sent me for MRIs for all the things that I was explaining about, I had 5 injuries that were left untreated. Right? So those 5 injuries were left untreated, resulting in me having to get surgery in my shoulder. And I did physical therapy for about 1.5 to 2 years because of this. So now that I'm in physical therapy, I'm still having issues. I'm still having pain in my chest. I'm still like having pain. I'm hurting. And after a while, the physical therapist is like, hey, you need to get this looked at. I'm starting to think this is not accident related. And in that moment, I said, okay, I took her advice. At this point, I'm 39 and I'm like starting to call around to ask if I can get a mammogram. And a lot of places won't see you, like the insurance won't see you if you're not 40. And I also don't have any connections with anybody in my family who has breast cancer. And I don't have any gene mutations for breast cancer. So after a year, I still wasn't able to get anybody to take me. I found my primary care doctor was booked up. I went to see this other doctor who also listened to me, an African-American woman. And when I explained everything to her, she said, we're going to work you up. We're going to send you for diagnostic testing. On my very first mammogram, usually when you go for diagnostic tests to these different facilities, they see you and then they say, well, send it to your doctor. And then, your doctor will give you the results. That's not the case I had. Like, I thought that I was going to go back to my room and get dressed. And they were like, we see some calcifications and we just want to send you for surgical consults. Even in that, I still wasn't like alarmed. There was like no bells in my head. I'm like, it's my very first mammogram. They don't have any other mammograms to look at to have a baseline. It's just probably just to make sure there's nothing there. I called my older sister and my twin sister, and it was like, calcifications, dense breast. I spoke to other women. They say I have dense breast, nothing to worry about. After a while, I got nervous about that surgical consult, and I was like, and then when they called, the office called me, I wasn't really comfortable with the energy of the person that called me, so I never went. Now this is in April, so it's a year now. I never went to them. And then one day, something just told me, call the breast center at the hospital that you all frequent. And I called them, and they said, hey, if you have your film, bring it in. If you're a candidate, we'll call you. Now, I never got the call. This is April. I never got the call back from them. A few months later, I called again, and they said, yeah, your scans came back, and they're fine. They're clear. And they called me 2 days later and say there was a discrepancy in the system. When we typed your name in, I think you have a sibling, her scans came up. And that's what we viewed. We didn't realize that your scan was from an outside facility. We needed to come to me immediately for a biopsy. So I still didn't think anything of it. I called my sisters, and my older sister said, I don't like the sound of that. I'm taking the day off. I'm going to present with you. So I go for my biopsy. I get my biopsy in August, and they're claiming that I have stage 0 cancer. It's counted as stage 0 because it's a contained breast cancer. It's called DCIS. So it's contained in the milk ducts, and it hasn't spread yet. So they said, mind you, let me backtrack. I'm sorry. The doctor that performed my biopsy. She called me first, and she said to me, "You have abnormal cells in your breast." So to me, that wasn't alarming.
Right.
I was like, that happens to everybody. We have abnormal cells. Doctors do procedures to get rid of it. It's nothing. An hour later, my sorry, that's not a.
It's okay.
Oh, thank you. She thinks I'm parched, so she brought me some water, guys. Sorry, guys.
Oh, that's her twin.
So, sorry for that. When my primary doctor called me, she's the one that said the word cancer to me. And I was at work at the moment. And if anybody knows me, I work with children on the spectrum. And I did not want to go back into that space, emotional and shifting the energy.
Yeah.
So once I got off the phone with my doctor, I told myself that I was okay. And I took it off. But I could only take a few steps before I broke down. And I called my older sister and I was like, you've been doing this all your life. You tell yourself you're strong, you shake it off, and then you just keep moving forward. And I felt like in that moment, it was like, you can't, it ends here. You can't do this here. You can't do this here. So when they explained to me, they said it was a stage 0 cancer and they needed me to come in immediately and discuss to me what my options were going to be, and the option was surgery. And now the doctor that was supposed to see me was away. So the medical professionals in her office, they were like, you need to come in right away. We're going to get you started. So when she gets back, she can see you right away. We're going to get the process rolling. And they explained to me that it was a stage 0 cancer. The 2 biopsies showed the abnormal cells, and I was going to have to get a mastectomy. My older sister was present with me in that moment. I'm stubborn. I'm a very stubborn individual. I don't like to lose things. If I lose my chapstick, I'm looking everywhere for my chapstick. Like, I don't want to go buy a new one. I want my chapstick. Like, I lost it. I want it. So in that moment, I had to I don't want to lose my breasts. So I'm talking to the doctor. Can we do a lumpectomy? The doctor's like, no. I'm just giving her options. I'm just throwing everything at her. Can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? And she's like, no. I said, I don't want the mastectomy. And she explained, she gave me a whole lot of information. And she said, I need you to come over here and I want you to look at these scans. And I want to explain to you exactly what these scans are. So when they showed me and my sister the images of the scan, the calcifications weren't just in one area. It covered my whole breast from, my nipples all the way to my chest wall. And this is my right breast. So even in that, they called it a stage 0 cancer that didn't spread yet. There was something else that they saw in my breast and doctors were concerned about it. So they sent me for an MRI. I went for the MRI and they said, we see something in the MRI, but the image is not clear. We need you to get an ultrasound and 2 punch biopsies. So if I get 2 punch biopsies, that will make 4 biopsies. We went through that process. We went through different scans. We went to ultrasounds. When I went to the ultrasound, they say, hey, we saw something under your arm. We don't know if it's because you're aggravated because of all the biopsies you've had, but we got to look at it. Now, because we're still unsure of what we see, we have to do an MRI guided biopsy. Now, at this point, both of my sisters are going to my appointments with me. And I'm like, you've been taking a lot of days off. You guys have kids. You have families. I'll do these next 2 biopsies by myself. Bad idea.
Right.
I think I've had an MRI. But an MRI and MRI guided biopsy is it's 2 hours. You spend an hour in the biopsy machine, in the MRI machine, and then you spend an hour doing your biopsy. And your biopsy, you're wide awake. You're laying flat in your stomach, and they're basically numbing the area and sticking a needle to get whatever they need to get to sample.
Yeah.
For that appointment, I don't think I cried so much. I cried so much. And they ended up giving me this, at this point, is my 6th and 7th biopsy. And when that came back, they found a different form of cancer. So even though I'm a stubborn person, certain things I trust the process, right? Because I knew everybody was asking, what's next? What's going to be the treatment plan? But I trusted the process. And I'm so thankful that I had the strength to trust the process, because they probably wouldn't have found that second cancer. The second cancer was called IDC, where it had already spread to my lymph nodes. So when they found that, the doctor saying, we're going to send it off to a sample because we think we're going to have to pivot and hold off on your surgery. So when we held off on the surgery, and then when the test finally came back, the doctor called me and say, hey, this test is called the Oncotype score test, and it determines if you're going to need chemotherapy. It also determines if you're high risk for reoccurrence of cancer in your body, anywhere in your body. And it's also a test that will tell you will benefit from chemotherapy. So first thing they said is your score came at 35. I had saw it first and I was like, oh, 35 out of 100, that's a low number. And I'm like so happy. I was like, I'm like relaxed. I'm in a good space. And I'm like, okay, I might not need chemo. We're just going to go to surgery, which I still at this point did not want to do. The doctor called me and said, that score is really high and it's high risk. So in that moment, I had to make the decision. I called my sisters and I said, I don't want to have this mastectomy in my right breast. But if they said that I'm high risk for reoccurrence, I'm going to have to do both. And even though I made that decision, I still didn't want the surgery. And the doctor said to me, you're going to have to go through chemo for 5 months. And my first thought is, how am I going to get through that? 5 months is a long time. He said the very first 4 doses are going to be 2 months, and it's going to be aggressive. You're going to lose all your hair. So what I loved about the team is they were giving me all the symptoms and everything that can happen, what was coming next, and prepping. And I'm the type of person you have to prep for everything. I don't do well with change. Like if I know in advance, I have to like prep myself and work myself up to get through whatever it is. And every doctor I've met would tell me, don't let your spirits get down. Stay faithful. I had one doctor that kept telling me, God bless you, like after every sentence. And if anybody knows me, if you love the Lord and you just start blessing me and don't know me, I know that's God speaking to me.
Yeah.
The whole time the doctor, after each sentence, he was saying, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. And people just kept saying, keep your spirits up, stay faithful. And I'm like, is this the type of language that medical professionals are supposed to use? Like, and I just kept hearing it a lot. And I was going to keep my journey secret. I was like, I'm going to go through this journey and I'm not going to let nobody know about it until I get through it. I told my sisters. And my older sister was like, well, her husband, my brother-in-law, Walter, if you're here, hey, was like, you don't keep secrets. Like, you don't keep sickness a secret. Something like that. I think his mother told him. And she made sure she let me hear it. Right. But when she said that to me, it wasn't something that I can just brush off. I felt that message. Woo. It just like I felt it. It was like chills. Like, so I sat down with Nada and I was like, this journey is gonna be hard. I spoke to my older sister and I'm like, if I'm gonna get through it, I'm going to have to like get my team together, let people know. But I had to do it in baby steps. It was exhausting to even like tell people. Like I didn't even tell my parents until I got a treatment plan. Because I was like, I knew they couldn't do the waiting process with me of not knowing. Yeah. I'm not a parent, but I think as a person who love others, waiting on people that I care about to know what's going on with them, I could only imagine what a mother and father would go through. So when we finally got the treatment plan, the doctors let me know that the chemo was gonna could possibly damage my reproductive organs. They say it's issues sometimes where people cannot conceive after. Are you still interested in having kids? And I said yes. So they was like, okay, there's a lot of organizations. We're going to send you on this appointment to see if you can do retrieval so you can freeze your eggs. I want to thank God for this because I had an organization that's called Sister Chick that paid for my whole egg retrieval. They paid for the freezing. They paid for the whole procedure.
Wow.
Because it's thousands of dollars. And I'm like, how am I going to expect me to pay for this when I just found out that I have cancer? And medical bills is going to be very, very high. God bless me with an organization that paid for everything. So then moving with that, I started to tell my family, started to tell my friends. And I'm so thankful that I did not keep it a secret, because the way my family and my friends started to band around me, when you're so used to being everyone's village and being everyone's supporter, sometimes you just don't expect it. And like a lot of people around me don't know it. Like I was going through a funk way before this happened. And sometimes, even though I'm in like a world with so many people, I would have days where I feel so lonely. And it's not lonely like I felt like I needed somebody to be with me. It's just that it's crowded here. I have people around me that love me, but I feel lonely. Like, and I just couldn't shake that feeling. Like I knew I felt that. And the overwhelming support that I got and continue to get from my friends, my family, my coworkers, even people I didn't know, like when I would go for different procedures and people would see me. I have a chemo port that's right here. One of my closest best friends, she works at the hospital. She took me there for my procedure, and she checked the list to see who was going to be my doctor, my nurses, everybody. She told me everything I can ask for. And it was so crazy because that day that when I came out of my surgery, when I woke up, the nurses were like, so many people stopping by your bed, like people saw you and they're like, oh my God, like I didn't know. And they were like speaking positive affirmations over you and just speaking about you. Like even when I was under and asleep, like God had people covering me and I didn't even know. People were stopping by and checking on me and I didn't even know. So there are people that I knew would be on my side to support me. And there were some people that showed up that I didn't even expect that would show up for me. And one person that I told him this, I didn't tell him this until last week, but I'm sharing his story because it's a part of mine now too, where my brother-in-law is actually right now battling his own form of cancer. And every day he would text me scripture, songs, got me to join a prayer group with him 3 days a week. And the days that I felt at my worst, out of nowhere, I would get a text like, hey, just checking on you, words of inspiration. And for me, it was like, for you to be going through your journey and still showing up for me, that's only God.
Only Him.
It's only God. So I made it my business to still show up in spaces that I show up because of God. So I work with children on the spectrum. I'm still showing up to work, working with my students. If there's like somewhere we got to show up and give information on IEPs or advocating for your child, my sisters and I are still showing up. If I can support you, if I had the physical strength to do it, I was still showing up. If God allowed me to show up, wake up and move this body, I was showing up. And when my body told me the rest, I was able to rest. I did that. And because I had so many people to tell me like, hey, you're a busy bee. You like to always keep going. You need to rest. You need to take a break. And I had to listen to that.
Wow.
That's a snippet. That's not even the whole journey.
Right. Exactly. Right. And I thank you. I thank you for sharing that. And then somebody, I think Lunic had wrote that she's hearing noise, a back noise feedback or noise in the background. I'm not hearing it, so I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all, if y'all hearing noise or feedback or anything like that, because I'm not hearing it on my end. It sounds clear and good on my end. So I'm sorry. But I want to just go, you said a lot. There was a couple of things that you said, right. My brain is just like, oh my goodness. You said you're so glad that you did not keep it a secret.
Yes.
Right. That is so relatable.
Right.
In so many ways. We have learned or been conditioned to, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go through this by myself. I'm gonna go through this by myself. And then like when I process it and I get all my thoughts together, then I'll then share.
Right.
Someone says something so powerful that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. You are not qualified to talk to you about you.
Oof.
You need community. We need community. We can't do this on our own.
Right.
Could you have imagined having to do this on your own? You wouldn't. God wouldn't have been able to use your brother-in-law as that vessel to continue to send you the things that you needed in the time that you needed it on. Every doctor that you said that you came encounter with, God bless you. Affirmations. It was like that little wink of God giving you, like, I'm here with you. I'm here with you. Could you imagine doing that by yourself?
Listen, because I was stubborn. Even like I heard it, but I still was gonna try to keep it to myself. And my sisters were like, "Nah, we don't know how we're gonna do it."
Steve is saying something to me because he's listening.
Okay.
Is something happening? Just tell me. It sounds like static. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hear it though. No, I don't know. He's saying it sounds like static. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
don't hear it either on your end.
Yeah, I don't hear it. So I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. Because I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know.
I
I'm sorry.
have a friend. Oh, she's my sister. I call her my one of my big sisters too. She lives in Atlanta, and one day she called me and she said, "You know, God speaks to me." And she said, "Your journey is not for you to keep by yours to yourself." So then I heard it again. It was a confirmation. She's like, "It's not for you to keep it to yourself." She's like, "You need to tell your story, and not just within your circle." She said, "You're going to help other women. You're going to help other women." So when I started joining support groups and I started hearing other women's story, the way it helped me so much through my, this is not enough.
Sorry, switch to your phone and see. It might be your laptop.
Okay. You hear static too?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, guys. So we're going to try to see if I can switch devices.
Okay.
Okay. So they said they hear static. Let me see if
Yeah.
I move it. Do you guys hear static still? Or is it clear?
I don't know. I need somebody to.
Let us know in the comments, guys, if you hear any static.
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know. So I'm gonna keep talking because then they gotta hear us talk in order for them to hear if they hear static. So I don't see anybody on. I wonder if it's also too. I guess I don't know if it's just on. I don't hear static. Maybe it's only on Facebook and it's
Okay.
not on. Yeah, because everybody that's on YouTube is saying that they don't hear static.
Okay. Okay. So somebody said it's clearer when I move my laptop. Okay.
Oh,
And people saying they don't hear it. Somebody says it's a lot clearer. So I'm hoping maybe okay.
okay,
Hopefully it's better. Okay, let's
okay,
thank you, Lo. She said not now.
okay,
She's
perfect.
here. My big sister Lola Washington, the one that told me when I and after she called me and had that long talk with me and she ministered to me and told me that God told her that I need to speak, I called you. So that's where our phone call came from a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm. right? When you shared with me, it was like, well, you shared your whole journey with me, and I was just I was taken away. I got a little,
Emotional.
emotional because it just reminds me of, like what I hear, right, and the why, and me continuing to, have this platform that God has, allowed me to have. It's not in vain, right? And it just reminds me of, again, what I said about, community and you not doing it alone. There's no way that I would be able to do this alone. There's just no way, right? Like, I'm not saying that I go around and I just tell everybody everything, right? But there's always people that I have encounters with. But I'm also reminding myself even the more that, Naisha, you have to be so raw, right, with being willing to not isolate.
Right.
Because even though, I've been on this unmasking journey and I'm unmasking and uncovering and unveiling, there are still moments and times of where I isolate,
right,
and I go backwards, right? But I am being reminded continually, even the more now that, isolation it's not the way. It's just not the way. There's moments of where you need to be still and you need to pause and you need to feel, but isolation is not. It's not. It was somebody, oh my goodness, what was he said something, oh my goodness, I can't remember what he said.
Amen. Somebody said Jesus had 12 disciples. He didn't do
Yeah,
it by himself either.
he
Right.
didn't.
Amen. Amen.
That is so true. He really, really didn't. Community is just everything. And I can't remember what he said. He said something so powerful about, not doing it by yourself, but I can't remember. Hopefully it'll come back to my mind as I continue to talk. But yeah, like, and even having that, going back to the fragile resilience, right? Having that push through spirit.
Right.
Right. Like, I'm gonna push through, which causes, burnout, functioning insufficiently, feeling emotionally fried, anxious, and nearing to like a breaking point.
Right.
Like having that, like, is yes. So I'm just so grateful for you not for God to say to you, you can't do this alone, and for you to say, you know what, I don't want to do it alone.
Right.
That takes courage.
Right. Because I cannot lie and say, as Christians, they always tell us, God has not given you a spirit of fear. God has not given you a spirit of fear. And if you say I'm scared of something, God, that's not of God. God has not given you a spirit. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, I'm human. Y'all bet not say that to me. It was because I could not stop crying. Before I could even like process it, I could not stop crying. It would be times where I would think I would be fine in a moment and I just would break down and cry. I could not stop crying. It was just so many things to think about, right? Because you don't know what this journey will be like. Yes, I did trust God that he will get me through it, but I'm scared too. Like, I'm human. I was scared. And then I was stubborn. So I went through like process and I had to tell myself, I was speaking to my girlfriends and I was telling them, I said, I'm so stubborn that I had to sit myself down and said, stubbornness and faith do not go hand in hand. Because if you're stubborn, that's because you want to have control. You cannot be faithful and be stubborn. When you're faithful, you trust God to get you through the process. I cannot trust God and try to control the situation myself. So either I'm going to be stubborn and try to control the narrative of what's going on in this journey, or I'm going to be still, sit down, humble myself, and let God have his way. Because I feel like I've always felt that anything we go through in life, there's a purpose for it. We don't go through anything in vain, good or bad. And sometimes when I do prayer with my friends in the morning, we have this app called Marco Polo where we would just like say prayer to each other, or we speak to each other. And one thing that have always said, I'd rather be alive and going through it than dead and not. And I've always said it. And I had to say to myself, like, you alive and going through it. You've always said this, and now you have to stick to what you say. Are you still thankful? Even in this? Can you say, thank you, Lord? This is the day that you have made, in days like this. Days when I couldn't even lift my head, I couldn't even smell anything, I couldn't eat. Right? You couldn't taste anything, sores on your tongue, mouth sores, hair falling out. Are you still thankful? Is this still the day that the Lord had made? And are you thankful? Will you be glad in this day? Like, will you stay strong in that? I had to like sit myself down.
Right. So everything that you have been professing and saying out of your mouth was tested.
It was tested.
Wow.
So that's why they say that, there's power of life and death in the tongue.
Yes.
So like even when you ask God for something, you still have to be ready to receive what you ask for. And we think that sometimes it's just going to be like, you're going to get it like this. And it's not going to just be fall into your hands. There's a journey in every single thing.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, I don't know what this journey will bring. I do not know why I'm going through this journey. I'm not going to lie to it. But at this point, I'm at a place and say, God, whatever you want to come out this journey, if it's to heal others, provide support to others, because I know when I've heard other women's story, it had made me, even though I didn't want to go through it, because I'm not going to lie, I said to him, God, I don't want this. I don't want to do this. That was like when I first started. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this journey. I've seen what it could do. But then I had to talk to myself and say, who are you not to go through it? Who are you? So I had to, like I said, I had to humble myself again. This is not for you. You can't control this.
Wow. And that almost like relinquishing control, what did that even look like for you?
It was hard. Listen, it was hard because I'm a type of person, I just like things to go a certain way. I like to know how it's going. And if I plan it, I need to go as planned. If there's a hiccup, I won't let people know that I'm stressed. It depends on who you are. Yeah. But I'm dying inside. Like, and even if it goes through the way I want it and it has hiccups, I'll come home and be like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe that happened. And people be like, but it was great. It went well. Like, why are you worried about that one little pothole in the road? You still got to your destination. So I'm like, this is going to be my pothole. I'm not going to let it stop me. Wherever he needs me to be, I'm going to go. And one thing that I used to learn years ago when I used to go to my church, they used to say, if he will bring you to it, he will bring you through it. So I'm like, I used to pray that all the time. So now I'm in a place where I have to believe it.
Yeah.
And I love the serenity prayer. I have to believe it now. Yeah. It's not just, you can just get up and just pray it and just talk yourself through it. You have to believe what you're saying now.
It's almost like, because I'm in a season of learning, unlearning, and becoming, right? I've been talking about that a lot. And I am unlearning a lot of what I learned about God, right? So what you're saying to me, it kind of just reminds me of, my mindset always was with God was everything was transactional. The more that I do, the more that he'll bless me. When that is the complete opposite.
Right.
It's not about it being transactional. It's about being relational.
Yes.
And my relationship with God, like, what does that look like?
Right.
Am I taking the time to sit to know what, like to know what his word means. So when I am going through hard times, I'm giving it back to him.
Right.
Right. And I'm still not there. I'm being completely honest. I'm still learning. Like,
Right.
and there's moments now that I'm actually taking that pause to be still, to say, wait a minute, God, what are you showing me right now? Because
Right.
like this feeling of what I'm feeling right now is for a reason.
Right.
Right. So it just, all of what you just said about, you just really believing now, right, what you've been reading and what you've been saying, right? It's like more so your relationship with God is no longer transactional.
Right.
And you're not just moving and doing and going with the flow.
Right.
Right. Like you're really like you're being intentional. That's the word I'm hearing.
And I can't lie and say that I got here by myself.
Yeah.
You ever like, you know how people always be like, I'm praying for you, sis. Sis, I'm praying for you. I'm covering you. For me, if I tell you I'm praying for you, if I put that up there and I tell you I'm praying for you, I'm going to do a prayer immediately. It's not, it don't got to be an hour. It don't got to be 30 minutes, but I'm going to lift your name up. Yeah. So that's me. Even if I do it silently, I'm going to say like, Lord, whatever it is, like cover this person, bless this person, heal this person, guide this person. I'm going to say it. And what I can say is when people have been telling me, I'm praying for you, I felt it. Like I know like that they were going to the altar for me. I know that they were going to their knees for me. Like I know, like it was no doubt in my mind when people were sending me that I'm praying for you every day. I'm praying because I could hear it in their voice.
Yeah.
And I love this. And I gotta say, I love my village. I love y'all because there are times where I know they were gonna break, and they would like take a moment to like go collect themselves and not let me see them that way.
Yeah.
Right. And, for me, I would understand because we're human. Right. But you love me that much that you would put yourself aside just so you could be strong for me to help me get through my journey. Yeah. So I say I'm so thankful for them because like it didn't go unnoticed. I seen it. I heard it. Even if you didn't do it in front of me, I saw how my journey affected you. And you still showed up for me. You stood up for me. And it doesn't matter in any capacity that I knew the person, where there was somebody that I called my sister, my brother, my friend, my best friend, my associate, my colleague, whatever it was, like it was genuine.
Yeah.
And that makes me rich.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just thinking
less than I'm rich.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, right, because, science has definitely evolved, right? There's all the medicine, the medications, and right. And you went through all of that, right? You went through treatments and, different medications and all this stuff. But also the medicine that you had too, I just keep saying it was your community.
Yeah.
That was also a part of your treatment plan.
Right.
Was your community.
Right. Even like everybody was trying to like, you need me to come sit in chemo with you? I'll go sit in chemo with you. And I'm like, y'all got to fight Nada and Hermine. Because my sisters were showing up. They were sitting like, you were allowed one person where I was going. My first day I had 4. And no one said anything to any of them. They let all 4 people in. And I was like, look at God working again.
Listen, he knew what you needed.
And my sisters were showing up. They were showing up. They were taking off work. And I say, look, and I love my sisters. I love all my friends and family. But I always tell my sisters, like, y'all got kids. And they're like, so don't count yourself out because you don't have any kids. And like, I got a family to feed. Like, and people were like trying to show up, and they were sending care packages. They were sending medicine. One of my friends, my brother, Dwayne, had all my friends, like my very first day of chemo. They all came together and they surprised me my very first day of chemo. And I broke down. Like I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And it was like, and gestures like that, prayers, care packages, medicine you guys sent to me, text messages checking on me, showing up. People don't even know how that, like, how much strength that gave me.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, you're right. I was like, and I was gonna try to do this by myself.
So, you know, you didn't share that story with us, right? So let's share the good news with the people. What was your last day of
chemo?
Yes.
April 17th. I rung that bell for chemo, y'all.
Oh my Lord.
Yes. I rung that bell for chemo.
I need everybody to type in the chat, hashtag God did it. Hashtag God did it.
Yes.
He did it.
And I think of my older sister when I told her, I said to her, how I'm going to do 5 months of chemo? How am I going to do that? And she said, it's going to be over in a blink of an eye. And the last day of chemo, I said, you told me it was going to be over in a blink of an eye, chemo. We was going to get through chemo. And we did. And we got through chemo. So for me, it's like, step one, we got through it.
Yep.
We got through it.
God did it. He did it. He did it. Wow. So, wow. Our time is up. I think we need to do, I think we need to do a part 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to do
so that's the invitation to come back.
Yes, it is. It is definitely an invitation to come back. I actually want you and somebody else to come back. So I want to do a trio episode. Wow, God did it. God did. This is why Unmasking the Covered Me is, you know, is here. It's here to stay.
Yes.
It's here to stay. Wow. It gave me so much encouragement. I'm just so grateful and thankful just to be able to continue to see the day. Things that we take for granted. God did it.
Right.
Drop mic. God did it. That's it.
Right.
God
did it. And I just want everybody to remember, like, whatever you go through in life, just know that you're not alone. God is with you. And it affects your family more than you think, whether it's good or bad. My twin sister, like, she made sure she never cried in front of me, but I know she was crying. Like, I know. I could tell. And I know it affected her. She didn't have to have what I have.
Yeah.
Right. But she had it. My older sister, same for her. She's dealing with it on 2 sides. Yeah. You know, so I'm thankful for my brother-in-law as well. My sisters and my brother-in-law, my best friends, my friends, my family. I'm thankful that I didn't keep it a secret, because it's like every day I'm reminded, look what you would have missed out on.
Yeah. Yep. Keeping it to yourself. Yeah. God did it. He showed up and showed out. He did. Right. Well, right. I think everybody who came on, your village showed up for you too on here. Okay. That's what's needed. That support, that love. Like, we got you. Everybody loves a little push, right? Everybody loves love, right? We all could use it. We all could use it. So I thank everybody who decided to come and sit with us, you know.
We love you. We love all of you.
For real.
I love you. My favorite thing to say is I love you more.
Yes.
That's my favorite thing to say, because I always say that only because the people in my life, when I tell you that I love you more, I don't have the words to express how much I love y'all guys. Y'all don't understand. So that's why I always say I love you guys more.
Love you. Period. That's my favorite. Period. Yes. Love it. All right. Well, I love y'all. Oh, let me mention something. I am having an event on Saturday if nobody is busy. It's at 2:00. In honor of mental health awareness. I'm gonna have a panel discussion. So if you're not busy, come on out. I'll drop the flyer in the comments section, both on my YouTube page and on my Facebook page too as well. So come on
share
out.
my stories.
Come on out. Come on out. Come on out. We need to continue to create these spaces, right? It's needed. It's needed. But I cannot leave off of here, B, without I always ask everybody, I'm a hashtag girly. I love it. Do you remember what your hashtag was?
I wrote it down. Let me see.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I be forgetting a lot these days. So my hashtag was, oh, hold on. Let me see. Oh, grace over grind.
Period. Hashtag grace over grind. I'm still in it. Still in it.
So anybody that knows me, think about me as a person and think about why I pick grace over grind.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it. Grace over grind. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of the week. Have a good evening. I love y'all. Thank y'all for listening and stay tuned. See you next time. Bye.